Well, hello everybody. It's Friday afternoon. Shop's been busy all week. Seems like this week all we've been doing is Cadillacs and H2 Hummers. We also did a 580 case backhoe. Did some work on that as well. So I said to wifey, why don't you go shopping for the rest of the afternoon, and I'm gonna play with the BX again. So I took that out from the shed and from its little stable, and I got a few things that I want to do with it. As you can see, I have the bucket off, and anybody who was watching the grapple video, I had made a stand on casters so I could move the grapple around the shed. Well, I'm going to do the same thing with the bucket now. It's going to be a little tiny bit different. It's not too difficult to make, so it's really, I guess, when it comes to videos, you might find this one a little boring, I don't know. And I also got the where I made the knob for the FEL control the other day. I made it out of billet aluminum. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to also make two new knobs for the backhoe out of aluminum. So I'm going to machine those as well. Everybody was coming here all week. They loved the knob, and they said, well, you know what you got to do now? You got to make them for the backhoe. So I guess I'm going to have to make them for the backhoe. But before we do this, I'm going to take you over and I'm going to show you a little thing that I bought. I try to do an unboxing kind of thing every video, so just so happens that something else showed up here in the shop, and I'll take you over and I'll show it to you. Sorry about the mess here, guys. It's I haven't had a chance to really clean up. This is supposed to be a motorcycle lift, but in the winter it kind of acts as a has a workbench slash welding table slash junk table, so bear with me. And oh yes, I get a lot of questions too about my Smurf gloves. Well, actually I wear these pretty well all the time. I guess I'm lazy. I don't like to wash my hands 40 times a day in the garage every time they get dirty. And plus, I'm dealing with a lot of chemicals in the shop. It could be anywhere from paint thinners to different types of oils to just plain diesel or gas. So I use these, and they work quite well. And it's a safe way to operate in a shop. Of course, I don't use them for welding, but you know, they're relatively inexpensive. I get them at Costco. A box of 100 is I think around $14. So it's a pretty good deal, and they last a long time. And so that's the reason why I wear my Smurf gloves, guys. You can buy these in black, but they're a different type of material and they just don't last. So I guess like Johnny Cash, he used to wear black because he said it never got dirty. Maybe I should be wearing black gloves, but I find these really well. Anyway, speaking of Costco, wifey and I were in Costco the other day, and we found this. And this is a rechargeable waterproof spotlight. It's 5 watts, and it's got the Cree LED light in it. And anybody who knows the company Cree, they have quality LED products. And this is a really nice light. I'm just going to open it up and I'm going to show you what we have in the box. We have a DC charger. We have an AC charger. Let's see. And we have the light. Instruction says to charge it 8 hours for 8 hours before you try to use it. And it's a really nice nice light. So here it is. Comes with your little strap, and it's got a handle on it, or a foldable leg on it, so you can make some room here, so you can put it down like that. And it's got a trigger on it, and it's all waterproof. When you go to charge it, you unscrew the back of it, and you can see it's gasketed. And of course, you take the back off, and that's where you plug your charger in, whether it be AC or DC. and it's got a rubber case on it, so the handle is plastic, but each end of it is rubber. And what I like about it is it's got the capabilities too, where you can put a shoulder strap on it as well. The lock switch is on it there now. When I turn it on, it's high beam. You hit the trigger once more, it's a little bit duller, and when you hit the trigger again, it's Morse code. So you got beep beep beep, beep beep beep, beep beep beep, which is kind of neat, but it's very bright, as you can see. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, I figured it'd be nice to put on the tractors. So I intend to put this one on the BX, and I have another one for the 5740. And it's got a really nice direct beam. It's, like I say, it's 5 watt. Don't know really how long it lasts with a full charge, but hey, well, you know what, with LEDs, it should last long. Okay, it says here 6 hours on a charge. On the high intensity light, it's 2.5 hours. On the low intensity, it's 6 hours. And it's waterproof to 1 meter. So, you know, under 1 meter of water, it's waterproof. Anything over 1 meter, well, it pays you money, it takes your chances. But it's a really nice light, and it's less than $25. I think it's $20, $23 or $24. So it's a real good bargain. So just thought you might find that interesting. I know it has nothing to do with what I'm about to do, but I know you guys like gadgets as much as I do, so I just wanted to include you in showing you what it was. Oh yeah, another thing when it comes to gadgets, I seen this into Princess Auto the other day. This is really, really nice. I think it's going to be a regular item, but I'm just going to take it out and I'm going to show it to you. And it's basically a row of switches. And there you go, they're lighted switches, and they have their own holder. So it's just really, really neat. It's metal, body is plastic, but you know, if you're in a situation where you don't want to hit your legs up against the switches, they work quite well, you know, and it's a nice looking system as well. And I think that was probably around $10 or $15 if I remember correctly. There's no price on it, but they're 20 amp switches. They're 12 volts, rated for 12 volts, so just thought you might find that interesting. There's a couple of other clips here that I bought from another company, and they're basically just alligator clips with sharp points on them, so you can check if you're doing pin-out tests on vehicles. Well, they come in handy as well. So that's pretty well it for that part of it, guys. Now what I'll do is I'll just take you over to the tractor, and I'll show you what I am intending to do. So here's the knob off the backhoe. Or I think it's the knob off the backhoe. Yes, it's the knob off the backhoe. So it's basically 2-inch in diameter, and the only round stock that I had that was close to it was this, and that was 3-inch, so it was just too much wastage. So what I did, I'll take you over here, and I picked up some 2-inch solid aluminum round stock, and that's what I'm going to make those knobs for the backhoe out of. So that should be good. There's a lot less wastage, and of course, excuse me, and of course a lot faster, you know. So let's go over here, and we shall see. Yep. So that's the knob there. So we're going to put some brass ones there. And you know what? One never knows, but I might even put a couple of brass ones there. Not brass, sorry guys, aluminum. Could make them out of brass, but brass tarnishes really quick. But yeah, so I'll probably do some aluminum ones there, and I'll do some aluminum ones for there. And that way it will match this fella right here. It won't be the same shape, but it'll be closer to the shape that I have on the backhoe here now. I got a question the other day from a subscriber asking me about the LED light bar that I have up on top. And there it is there, guys. And I call it basically a module. It's a pretty neat system. Now underneath you can see the bolts and stuff there. Well, I have a padding that I put there. I put the padding there just in case, but the ROPS is really high on this thing, so there's never really an issue of hitting your head on it. I've never even remotely come close, but I just removed the padding just to show the system. So basically what it is, it's a piece of aluminum going along the bottom, and it's held together, it's held onto the ROPS via U-bolts, as you can see there. And there's also a series of U-bolts as well holding the lights in place. Up in the front, that's the LED light right up in the front, and in the back there's the tactical light. And of course that has different flash patterns and whatnot. And of course it's powered through this wiring harness that comes down here, and it's all pre-wired into the tractor. And you can see the switches here. And that switch, I think, is for the light bar. This switch is for the cornering lights, and this switch is for the backhoe lights. And then there's another switch right there, and that's a bypass switch for the backup alarm. So that's basically how I got it wired. As for the light bar in the back, the tactical light, well, I just went in through there and got it plugged into the outlet there, DC outlet, and of course there's an off and on switch there, and also the pattern changing switch. So it works quite well. I could take it apart. I'll probably have to do that another time and show you how it's laid out inside, but it's a bit of a fooling around to take the top of it, and I really didn't want to get into that today. But that's basically an overview of how this thing is set up and how it looks. My wife actually did some more decals for me, and of course I showed you some the other day, but she never had the clear plastic on them. Well, sorry about the reflection of the light, guys. I can see if I can move over here. Anyway, there's the clear plastic on them. I'm known as 4 shorts on Tractor by Net. If you guys are looking for any information on tractors, and it don't matter what type, there's sections for each manufacturer. Tractor by Net and Orange Tractor Talks are great sites. On Orange Tractor Talks, I'm known as Wildfire, and again, on Tractor by Net, I'm known as 4 shorts. It's Orange Tractor Talks is basically dedicated to just Kubota. Tractor by Net is it's an all-around site that's dedicated pretty well to everybody, to every manufacturer, even offshore, like Chinese tractors and whatnot. Really good site, lots of knowledgeable people, and been on there, I think, since 2008. And pretty good site, so you can't go wrong. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. Of course, on YouTube, I'm Paul Short. So that's about it. I don't know what else to say. There was something else I was going to try to remember to tell you, but I'm sure it'll come to me before the end of the video. So I picked up some more angle iron. I pretty well used the other stuff the other day on the grapple. So there it is, and I'm going to start in and make up the trolley for this OEM bucket. It's a little bit different because I have a cutting edge put on this bucket, so going to make a few little changes to that, or to the way that I hook this up to the dolly. So let's get going. Okay, we're going to cut off this piece of angle iron, so I'm going to use the iron worker for that. Nothing to it. clean cut and it's square. So I got to cut another piece here now. I only have about this much wastage off the length that I had left over from the last job, so that's not too bad. I'll probably be able to use that for brackets or something. Cool. So now we have a little bit of a dilemma. The cutting edge puts the front of the bucket up a little higher than normal. So, and plus, there's an angle on the back portion of the bucket. So in order to keep it level, what I'm going to probably do is move this piece back a little bit. It'll hold in just as well. It's only going to act like a cradle. So I'm going to look for a straight edge. Look for a straight edge and put across that. Just have it reasonably level. So I think that'll work fine right there. So if I had a measurement on that, I think we could probably make that work pretty good. So, 21.5 inches. If it's a little bit loose, well, that's fine too. You don't want it too tight fitting. So we'll go with 21.5 inches. Okay, what I've done is this angle iron, 2-inch angle iron is 20 feet long. So where I have the forklift put in the shop during the winter months, it makes it kind of hard to cut this with the iron worker. So I just happen to take my my cordless Milwaukee saw and cut it off to close to the length that I need. Then I'll go over and trim it up with the iron worker. I could have put the forklift out today. It's not that bad out, but it's windy and this is pretty well as quick as you could possibly do it. So I'll just go ahead then and I'll just lay this back out on the metal rack, and then I'm going to have to take this square up. Then I'm going to notch it on the corners so I can get a good fit. And my method of choice when it comes to welding, I'm going to TIG weld it because I can do a neater job with it. I can use the spool gun again, but I like to use a spool gun only on larger jobs and thicker jobs. This is 1/4, so this is pretty well right in the range for the Dynasty DX200. So that's why I use it. Okay guys, what I'm doing here now is I'm getting ready to notch out the side pieces. And as I said before in my other videos, when it comes to notching metal, always notch the shortest piece, because that way you don't get the notching right, you don't have much wastage. But this is a pretty simple process what I'm doing here. So it's basically going to be welded together like this. Some people use 45s, do it in 45s, that's fine. With angle iron, I prefer to do it this way. It works out pretty well the same, but I just like doing it this way. I'm kind of set in my ways, I guess. But it looks good, and it's very strong when it's actually welded. So I'll continue on now, and I'll do this other piece, and then I'll set up and start welding. Okay, I'm getting ready to stick it together. These rods, as I said in my other videos, I like to cut them in half. That way, if there's anybody here in the shop with you, if they have to walk by, you don't stick this in their eye. Or if anybody's watching, there's less chance of them being injured. Some people like to leave them along. I'd rather sacrifice a few inches of rod just to keep everybody around the shop safe. I always say, don't do as I do, do as I say. So and this is the way that I do it. So hopefully you guys will understand. So let's tack this together. What you're seeing there is the Dynasty 200DX Miller, and it's got the Coolmate cooler on it as well. The cart is a custom one that I built a few years back. If anybody haven't seen the video on it, you can go into my YouTube channel and you'll actually see it being built. It won't be a video as such. It'll be a video, but more or less a picture video of it being done. Don't worry guys, I'll show it to you now when I get it tacked together here. See if I can move the camera so I'm not blocking you with my back. Sorry about the movement of the camera, guys. Bear with me. Okay, I'll take the camera over and I'll show you. Okay guys, there it is. There it is. Not too bad. It'll do. It's passable. So I continue on and do the other four sides. I'm going to do down along here as well on the edge. And then I'll show you what it's like. Okay, we got the corner done. It's hard welding inside, but as you can see, it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's very strong. So now we've got 3 more corners to do. Okay, I got it all welded up. Just a matter of checking for square, but I know it's square. And I turn off my cooler if I can reach it. Okay, square, 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 perfect. So now I have casters that I have to put on there. Pretty well what I used before. So the holes are a little bit undersized, so I got to drill them out to 1/4. And I'll mount them and see how it looks. I think it'll be okay. It's not a real complicated thing to build, but I turn around the viewfinder so I can see if you're looking at me. Okay, it's not a real complicated thing to build, but there's the welds. It's not. It's like a politician said here one time on television. He said it's not rocket surgery. And there's the welds, and of course it's welded inside, so it's very, very strong. So it's just a matter now of mounting a few casters, and then I'm going to see how it fits. Now we got all the casters drilled out, and we got the quarter bolts put in, and I must say it's starting to look pretty good. It's kind of ready now to fit on the bottom of the bucket. So I'll see what it looks like. I'll pan over here for you, and we'll see what happens. But like I say, it's a very simple little thing to build. And I like it building out of aluminum because it's light. that's pretty well it. I was kind of thinking of running a ratchet strap in under it from here to the hook up front. That way I can keep it on. But I don't know. I'll see what it's going to be like there now in a second, and we'll try it out. Let's see how it rolls. Oh, nothing to it, huh? So actually, I don't really need to do anything else with it. It works pretty good. So when I want to change over, I'll just lay the little cradle in under it. My floor is a bit dirty, some crushed stone on it. I had tobacco in earlier on today. So I can, let's see how we pick it up there. Well, I just worked my way out of the project because I can't improve much on that. It works good, so when I go in the shed now, where the little tractor stays, I'll just change over the bucket, lay the bucket down in the cradle, move it aside, then bring the grapple over, hook it on, drive the pins in. I can do it all before I actually leave the shed. So I think it's going to be handy because I'm going to tell you, that's pretty heavy to move around. I guess I'm not that tough. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty content with that. It's strong, and it's working quite well. So, and it's a simple project. So on to the next little mini mod. The other day, in my last video, I used a product called Click Bond, and I used the Click Bond system to attach clamps for my hydraulic hoses. While I had the epoxy out, I click bonded a new stud on the ROPS. This is just epoxied on to the paint. Now I don't know why I put it there, but I said maybe one of those days I could use that for something. Well, the day has come. So what I got in mind, I'm going to use that stud to actually hold my flashlight in place. Now I just discovered something pretty interesting. I took the light apart, or the handle off it at least, and when I looked inside the handle, no wiring. So I said, oh, this is just too easy. So then I discovered how this light actually worked. In this switch there's a magnet, and as luck would have it, the trigger system has nothing to do with the integrity of making that light waterproof. That light is pretty well self-contained. But what I did discover, it's magnetic. It's got a magnetic switch in it. So I'm going to put this magnet up next to it. As you can see, it works. So I think that's just, as my buddy in Colorado says, it's too cool for school. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that stud work to hold this flashlight on my ROPS. How I'm going to do it, well, that's a little bit sketchy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of aluminum, and I'm going to turn it down on the lathe. I'm going to turn it down really, really small till it fits that 1/4 threaded shaft on that click bond system. On the other end, I'm going to drill it, and I'm going to tap it, and then I'm going to use this knob. So in other words, what's going to happen is this here is going to have a hole drilled in it. It's going to go over the shaft, and then this here is going to screw on, and it's going to keep that on. So anytime I need the flashlight, I just unscrew this, pull the flashlight off, and use the flashlight. So let's see what happens. Well, I just had what you call a brain fart. Instead of using the aluminum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out this 3/8 bolt, thread it to fit the 1/4 stud on the click bond, drill out the handle, going to put this on and screw it on. I think it'll be much tidier. Let's see how that works. Well guys, here's my solution to our problem with the stud on the ROPS. I've taken a 5/16 bolt, I've put it in the lathe, I've drilled out the center of it where the most meat is to, probably 1 inch down. I've shaved a little bit off the head of it, I've drilled it, and I've tapped it. So let's go over and see how this is going to work. So I've cut a little bit off the stud. So I'm going to take this adapter, because basically that's what it is, it's just an adapter now. And I'm going to screw it on. I'm going to tighten it up. Nice and tight. Remember now, this is on the ROPS, and there's no holes drilled in the ROPS. This is the click bond system, and you know, it's probably 500 to 1,000 pounds pressure to take that off. So I'm going to take a piece of rubber, just going to put it in like that. I've got the light with a hole drilled in the handle, as you can see. Then I have a knob, just a common spin-on knob. And we shall see what it's going to be like. So the rubber in behind it is just compressing a little bit. And there you have it. That's my holder for the light. And the light still works. So that's it. Now I know there's going to be guys going to say, oh, you're going to tear it off on a tree or whatnot. Well, you know, I can tear the toolbox off with a tree, I guess. So you just got to be careful. But I'm not going to be going that close to trees anyway. So I'll just remove the camera there now off the tripod, and I'll let you have a closer look. There you have it. That's what it looks like. So anytime I need a flashlight, it's there. And I think it's pretty neat. Matter of fact, most people will just think it came with the tractor. So for an inexpensive mod, it's a practical mod, and I think I mean, everybody can use a flashlight. So I hope you like it. So, there it is, guys. I'll call this one a wrap. It's not groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see the advantage of having a little trolley or a little cart to put your bucket on, move it around. That way you're not killing yourself trying to push it around. And something as simple as a flashlight, how it can be mounted without drilling holes in the ROPS. So it's just another couple of little mods. Got some more stuff coming up that I'm going to show you. I got some ladders over there. You might see hung up there in the background. I'm going to mount them on the side of the shop. Not ladders, I'm sorry, but ramps. They're I picked them up at Princess Auto. I think they're about 80 bucks. Can't make them for that. And lots of times people will come in with snow blowers, or they'll come in with small items up in the back of their truck. And if it's snowing out, well, it's hard to get the forklift out to offload it. So with these ramps here, we'll just have them outside, and we'll take them, lay them up on the back of the truck, and just wheel the item back down. So it's kind of more convenient for everybody. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Sorry it couldn't be longer, but it's what I call a Friday night video. So if you got any comments, make them, and enjoy hearing from you. I try to answer as many as I can, but lately they've changed the system with the iPads where I can't really reply from my iPad to your comments. So I have to do that while I'm in office, while I'm in our office, and I'm not in the office a lot lately, so I will try to get them all answered eventually. So, and I do appreciate your comments, and of course you taking the time to make them. In the meantime, next week I'll have another video for you for sure. In the meantime, if you want to check out our website, it's www.specialtyrepairs.ca. Getting a lot of emails from people asking me if I'm selling anything on the website, and I'm really not. Right now, everything that I'm designing and building, it's pretty well prototypes, and they're going to be in the testing stages. And I'm adding to it all the time. There's even mods done that I haven't even done a video on yet. So, you know, I apologize for not having it available to the public yet, but I really don't want to design it and release it unless I know in my heart that it's a good design and it's going to withstand everyday punishment. So bear with me on that. And in the meantime, if you want to check me out, I'm on Tractor by Net as 4 Shorts. I go by the name of 4 Shorts on Tractor by Net, and also on OrangeTractorTalks.com, and I go by the handle of Wildfire there. If you like looking at photos, you want to see a lot of photos, I'm actually on the Flickr photo site, and all you have to do is just put in one word, and it's Honda Dude Canada. That's Honda Dude Canada, and you'll see a lot of our photos there as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a safe weekend, and I hope to see you next week with another video. Thanks for watching. Take care.